First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while learnt his truth, and also to those who lack that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is the mark. It's already here. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So I have a quick Google search here that I just pulled up by RFID microchip technology. We're gonna get a little of this, hit a few of these key points, about the uses and to show you that this technology and this system, they are constantly putting it in place right before your eyes. So we're coming upon a cashless society. We're coming upon a digital society, very soon. And also we're coming upon a device, a grain of rice that will go under your skin. The men of the Lord, we constantly been prophesying these things left and right, over and over. This is one major prophecy that you cannot get wrong. So we're seeing it now full circle. Revelation chapter 13 is jumping off the pages. So now, let's get a little of this report here. It's about this RFID technology. It says, yes, RFID microchip technology can technically work with a central bank digital currency, CBDC, to facilitate transaction. However, this integration raises significant and unresolved privacy, security, and ethical concerns, and it is not a required feature of CBDC. So not that right here is going to work hand in hand with the CBDC very soon. They're saying, that's how they're doing it, slowly bringing it in gradually, gradualism. And also they're getting you, this predicted program. You were seeing it each and every day. Like when you go to certain places like Walgreens or Walmart, you see that technology is already there. They haven't pretty much, and it's not probably operational just of right now. So when you go to Walgreens, you see that they have those coolers back there, with your favorite beverage, like water, juice, and so forth. You go there and it said, speak or just wave your hand. Also, it has that RFID sensor there, a face recognition. So why are they putting these things into place? Because the hell is already here. The system is already in place. This Karagma system. This mark of the beast technology. This grain of rice. So let's get a little bit more. It says how the technology could be integrated. It says payment devices. It says RFID chips could be embedded in payment device like cards, key fobs, or smartphones to enable contactless or tap to pay transaction using a CBDC. Said this is already a common technology for bank cards and mobile wallets. So we have that already right now. But we seeing like you go to a place like Whole Food, or what is this place called? Amazon. I think it's called Amazon One. The technology is already there. You just wave your hand, a barcode or QR codes. It's getting ready to come down to scanning and tracking. It's going to be dealing with your biometrics. That's why they're already getting certain things into place like real ID. Digital IDs. All these things going to work hand in hand with this CBDC and also that RFD microchip. So we're seeing this system is constantly coming full circle. It is here. It is out the door. And also we know what's going on in Sweden, different parts of the world. They already are getting what you call chipped up. Already had this system into place where they are buying and selling with it. So Revelation chapter 13 is jumping off the pages once again. It says here microchip implants. Said while not necessary for a CBDC, said the same RFID technology can be miniaturized and implanted under the skin to enable payments via hand gestures. said this application is highly controversial and subject to misinformation. But which in fact, that's they trying to throw y'all. This technology is already here. They using it as we speak in Sweden, UK, Australia, different places, constantly putting these things into play. They say about, I think by October, they're gonna have a lot of you would have to have a digital ID. And also they put in place just back in May of this year in America that you will have to have a real ID. You know, it's going over into a new data a database system, which in fact is going to be dealing with Palantir. You know, so and when you get around to look up Big Brother watching, it's going to be dealing with what surveillance, tracking, monitoring. You know what I'm saying? We're not ignorant of Satan device. We're seeing it. It's right before our eye. It says here, it says under the skin. It says so online transactions. A microchip could store CBDC value online, allowing payments in areas without an internet connection, because your ass is gonna be the walking Wi-Fi. You know, so we already know what Bill Gates said, that he's gonna these digital tattoos and wearables are going to replace the smartphone, and you also gonna become a walking device. You know what I'm saying? The internet of bodies. A lot of these things are coming into play. That's what we constantly warn you about. It says the transaction would be violated later once an internet connection is reestablished, validated. That's okay. Let's see what else we got here. It's a potential benefit, increased efficiency and speed. Said integrating RFID could enable quick, seamless, contactless payments. So embracing user convenience and transaction speed. So that's how a lot of people that's how they're gonna get you. Say it's contactless. You know what I'm saying? It's very safe. It's very quick and convenient. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people gonna trust in the strength of Egypt, and they will be totally destroyed. The Lord said, "Do not take it." It's constantly telling you about other improved features. This guy said, improved financial inclusion. So providing microchips or RFID enables cards could offer unbanked population secure access to digital currency and financial service. So right here, once this come into play, it's going to do away with all the cards, your debit cards, your credit cards, what I'm saying, your banking information, all this stuff going to be stored on this card, your car insurance, your driver license, medical. All these things going to be on there, tracking and tagging. It says in major risk and concern, it said privacy and surveillance. It said this is the most significant concern. Integrating RFID with a CBDC could allow for increased surveillance by tracking individual financial transaction and personal data. Said this raises the specter of programmable money, which in fact will be totally controlled. Said were a CBDC used to control or restrict for specific purpose. So it's right here. It's telling you that this right here is going to be a digital programmable, also implantable type of system that they're putting into play. Also, your new money will go on those RFID ID chips. That grain of rice. Let's see what else I want to get out. Something else I want to get out of here. Something else. It's overreach power. Let's see. Something else I want to get out of here. It's something I was looking for. Let's go here to this it's another little report I want to get. I was looking for it, but just like I say that it's already in place. This one here said human microchip implants and the Internet of Bodies. Let's open this one up right quick. But it was another report I was trying to look for, but I don't know if I can find it right now. Let me see if this one will pull up. It says here, human microchip implants and the Internet of Bodies. So this right here gonna connect you to everything. This blockchain technology. They're gonna roll out with this 5G and 6G technology. So it's gonna be by surveillance. It's gonna be dealing with your biometric face recognition. But I don't think we're gonna go into reading all of this, but it's just saying, it's telling you about, about Sweet, how they are the earliest adapters, We might get a little bit. Let's read a little bit of this here because it is, says story at a glance at human microchip implants and the Internet of Bodies. It said implantable microchips are marketed as the ultimate inconvenience, but the goal is to create the Internet of Bodies. It says here described by the World Economic Forum, the WEF, as an astro system of an unprecedented number of sensors. It says including emotional sensors attached to implanted within or ingested into the human body to monitor, analyze, and even modify human body and behavior. So right here, this could be also you can swallow this. You can have a deal inside of you tracking your every movements and keeping up with your vital signs. It's all sorts of things that we get ready to come into it. It's already here. The Neuralink is here also. These line one that says here, Sweet is one of the earliest adapters of the implantable microchips. So the chip is implanted just beneath the skin on the hand and operates using either near field communication NFC, the same technology uses a smartphone or radio frequency identification, the RFID, which is used in contactless credit cards. So seeing right here, we don't want to get too much into it, but it says here implanted payments chips are an extension of the Internet of Things. They are a way of connecting and exchanging data. So, and the benefits must be weighed against the potential risks. So it's going into a lot of this. We don't want to read too much. It's a lot, but you can go back and look at this report. So we're seeing just to show you that this system is already into place. A lot of things is happening. Sweden, the people's over there are chipped up left and right. So they, it's just like a normal, a sense of normalcy over there. But we already know all this, started. I think it started in China, but Sweden is picking up pretty good. So, they're trying to make it like it's a convenient thing. But the Lord said, do not take it. The Bible tells us, do not take this idol. This badge of servitude. It will only lead to your destruction. So we must trust and believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. So now, let's go here to today's video. And after the video, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
Alright guys, I really can't make this shit up right now. This right here is for the mark of the beast. Look at this. It's getting me up right now as I talk to you. As you can see right here, there's a locking system. So it comes down to it. If you don't have what they want, they're not gonna let you get whatever you need. So look at this, guys. We believe customers can experience the benefits of a digital technology without compromising privacy. That's how you do this, by putting a camera there and a face scanner. It's not just the camera, guys. This is recording my reaction, everything. It's learning you. Cooler Screens never seeks to identify individuals and never gathers or uses any personally identifiable or leakable information, thereby fully preserving privacy. How is that possible? So it's like if they literally told you everything the opposite, and that's exactly what they're doing. The customer experience is our priority. My ass, guys. Look at this, guys. Can you make this shit up? Look at this. Tell me how they're not doing it. The mark of the beast is here, guys. And you already know how it's gonna go down. They're doing it, guys. Look, the warning is in every one. The locking system. They're all learning me right now. Look at this. And you know what's the worst part? Talk about there's an energy crisis, but yet we're gonna put this here. It creates heat while you're trying to make things cold. It's a fail. It doesn't work as well. It's never what you expect. Never what you expect. Look at this. Look at that. Not like this, guys. Look at this. Wave to speak. Coming assistant, voice coming soon. So there's features they're not even using yet. So they're gonna know you by your voice. It's another little camera there, microphone, face scanner. AI is gonna know you so well that it's gonna know you better than you know yourself. You know, and like I said, if you don't have whatever they want, they're not gonna let you get whatever they need. And I'm not saying 2020, no nothing, but you know what I'm talking about. Look at this shit, guys. They have no idea.
You're going to have to take the mark if you want to be able to buy or sell. Check this out. It's already in place, guys.
So look at this. You're in London. You're on a business trip. You're staying in Greenwich. You want to buy some food. So you go into the local Aldi's, like this one. You think, I'm going to go in here and buy some food so that I can feed myself. And then you approach the barrier and look. You can't even get in the shop without having a QR code to scan here or to scan here.
So the system's already in place. What do you guys think? The Bible does talk about it in the book of Revelation. You're going to have a mark to be able to buy or sell. And look at this. You cannot even enter the store. You can't even enter. So what do you guys think? Do you think that this is the precursor? Let me know. Comment below and make sure that you follow.
My name? It's not too important.
Ready to hear some deep?
What I'm about to tell you is extremely important. I'm one of the first people to get a Neuralink implant in my skull. If you guys can see and don't really know what a Neuralink is, it's kind of like an electronic chip from Elon Musk embedded in your skull. At first it was kind of like a Fitbit, kept track of vital signs, stuff that was going on in my body. Eventually it's gotten to a point where I can move a mouse without even touching a computer. I can connect, I can download, I can transfer information. I'm not the only person that has one of these now, and how we can communicate. This is what's going to happen for the rest of the world. Eventually, this technology will be, maybe not in you, your kids, your grandkids. This is what's coming next. Welcome to the year 2025.
First, what this microchip looks like. It is about the size of a grain of basmati rice. So Patrick here is the CIO. Andy is a licensed body piercer, so let it rip. We're going to see this now.
I got it.
I can't look.
Oh, you're doing fine. You're doing fine.
I can't look. Needle is in. Chip is in.
Bingo.
Not very much blood at all. Patrick, how'd that feel?
Better than get my wisdom teeth out.
Okay, and you're still conscious.
Yeah, I'm great.
Melissa got chipped yesterday, but you had to be talked into doing this. How long did it take you to say yes to this?
I was a little hesitant at first, but I had 7 days to think about it. And once I learned the facts, there was no question in my mind.
Okay, one last thing we want to show you over here. Hold on, Matt. Go ahead, Steve. They can buy their goodies here in the break room by just using their hand. Real quickly, he's going to get a Kit Kat bar. And it's paid for $1.06, guys. So the question again, as we asked you last week, are you ready to be...
Yo, people in Sweden are really getting microchips in their hands.
When Elias Brodberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
Like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all in chip. So I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks. So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip and it will log me in. And from there I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future.
Install ingrain procedure with local anesthetic and you're good to go.
In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards,
which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden.
no cash.
At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
I thought it would be fun, right?
The process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete. As for the pain,
I barely felt it.
but even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
Feel less human. I will feel like a robot.
I think, so much more data can go into this, when it's in your body.
There's no central registry tracking how many people are chipped, but biohacker Hannes Wellblood estimates between 5,000 and 10,000.
In the future, do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it'll be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
Human microchipping may be our future, but in Sweden, it's already reality. Sarah Harmon.
Complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. You ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system. Approximately half of new illegal immigrants came on temporary visas and then never ever left. Why should they? Nobody's telling them to leave. Stay as long as you want. We'll take care.
Slide, because my 12 minutes are just up, have reacted to the truth coming out. They admit that they've been telling porkies, and now they propose to increase their power. So central bankers belatedly admit, oh, now that you've mentioned it, yes, banks create the money supply. So let's abolish that now. And also, by the way, let's abolish cash. So what should we do? Well, introduce digital cyber currency that central banks issue and control, and thereby gain total control over all economic transactions, decisions, and the whole lot you've just heard from the CEO of the GDI. So the greatest concentration of central banking power in history is really the bid they're aiming at. That's the central bank's goal. And of course, digital accounts of dissenters and regime critics could be switched off. It'd be very difficult to even purchase necessities. So this is an Orwellian dystopia of total control, the end of any freedoms. That's really what central banks are aiming at. Several central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant, RFID chip, to be implanted under your skin. And why is the sudden discussion about universal basic income from all the grassroots and inverted commas movements and billionaires? Oh, universal basic income is the bribe for you to accept the microchip. The overarching...
So you see it right there, it's already here. So these things right here is coming full circle right now. The prophecies are speaking loud and clear, and whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. So we'll start first here. Start here first in the Habakkuk. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2. Let's start there. Habakkuk chapter 2. That's a quick lesson through the spirit of power. Yahweh Shem Abishai. And one thing about it, we goes over these things left and right, because this is very close to being reality. We already know that the implementation is very close at hand. So Habakkuk chapter 2, we'll start up at verse 3. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3, straight to the point. It says here, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So right here, the vision, the signs of the time, the prophecy, You know what I'm saying? It's coming at that appointed time. That appointed time is now. You know, it's speaking. You know, it's not lying. It is more. It's not poloning anymore. You know, the Lord is constantly making these things good. You know, we're seeing right now that, you know, Lord is long suffering, but now we're seeing that these prophecies are speaking up, speaking loud and clear. You know, so let's read it once again. It said, for the vision is yet for appointed time. But at the end, we're at the end right now. We're very close approaching it. Very, you know, it's manifest, revealed right before our the end is being manifest. Says it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So right now, these prophecies, the signs of the time, they're here. They're not prolonging any more things. It's constantly picking up. And we're very excited. You know, our salvation is very close at hand. So now let's go here to Revelation. Let's go straight to the meat. Let's go here to Revelation. We're going to go to the blue letter for this one. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 13. We're going to go straight to the point with this one here. Revelation chapter 13, and we're going to drop down to verse 16. So I showed those videos to show you that the system has been here in place for some time. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark to charagma in their right hand or in their forehead. So we've seen in that, I think the second to the third video with the black guy in there, he showed that he said he had that that brain interface computer, which in fact Neuralink already in his brain said he can, you know, he can move, he can operate a computer without the mouse. So a lot of these things are coming into play, you know, to make you the internet of bodies. So we've seen that right there, you know, so it causes all both small, great, rich and poor, free and bond. So it's going to be a global event, everyone on the planet. You know, so this thing is going to become mandatory very soon. So before we move any further, let's go here and look up the word mark. And, you know, so a lot of people think it, you know, that is a spiritual mark. Some people think that is dealing with the internet. It's dealing with a lot of people. It's all different foolishness that they say. But we get right here. We're gonna tell you what this mark is. It's a physical mark. If you take this mark, you are going to be totally destroyed. Lord said, "Do not take it. Trust and believe in Him." So let's go here to G 5480. Let's get here. Let's look it up right quick.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Charagma. Charagma. So it says here, it's a stamp and imprinted mark. It says here, it said of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. But we know that they are minting Antichrist. That's one. But the one I want is coming up here. Let's see, idolatrous just image. Let's see what else we got here. This one here, it says a stamp, an imprint, or mark. Let's drop down to the strong definition here. It says a scratch or etching, stamp, adds a badge of servitude. So one thing about it, trying to make you a perpetual slave. So that's what that mark is all about. So let's go back up to the top. You know what I'm saying? So we already know he's getting ready. It's already in place. Let's go here. Look up the word Charax, that applicator, the G5482. Let's go into this, the root word. It said Charax.
Strong's G5482. Charax. Charax.
Charax. Let's see here what it says here. It says to sharpen, to a point, a kid. Let's see here. Let's go to online biblical uses. A pail or stake or a pastel or rampart. So basically what this is a syringe that they use, the applicator, to use to administer that grain of rice. So you can understand. You don't want to get too, you wouldn't want to go get too deep, because they will pull the video down. Fair you for edification purpose only. You know, so we're seeing that right here. So let's go into this word grapple, G1125. Let's go into this right quick. You know, get a little bit more of this right here, grapple. You know, it's going into that. You know what grapple is all about, you know? And this going into this right here, I don't want to jump the gun.
Strong's G 1125. Grapho.
Grapho. You know, also they're dealing with that juicy juice. You know, we already know what's in that juicy juice. You know what I'm saying? Graph, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to say the word because, you know, they will pull the video down. It says to write with references to the form of letters. You know, so a lot of these things that they're, you know, they're doing, you know, said to commit to writing the things. Said, let's see, what else? Another one I want to get. It says here, it said to D, this one I won't say, said to write to one, said by writing in written epistle to give information, direction. So pretty much, you know, this is all about receiving data, transmitting, and receiving. You know, that's what that is going into. That's what that you know what that charagma would do. You know, so man, the Bible is spot on. So we seeing right, just a quick little, you know, deal what you know, showing you that, you know, that it's already here. We'll put it like that. You know, it's a lot of things we can't say. We know that the famine of the word is fast approaching, but you know, it's the elect will understand. You know, here's wisdom. So let's go back to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark to charagma in his right hand or in his forehead. So we talking about this, that RFD, microchip, also that Neuralink, you know, all these things are working hand in hand. This technology is already here. Verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell, say he that had the mark to charagma, the badge of servitude, or the name of the beast, or part of this system, so or the number of his name. So right here, you know, you won't be able to make any type of transaction, buying or selling. So I showed you in that Walgreens store that, you know, they already got these things already into place. You know, it's you know, it's going to be operational very soon. And also when you go to like Amazon One, you go to Whole Food, what's the other one? It's another one. I think Targets might have this into place, this thing in play. Walgreens, face recognition. You're going to be dealing with your biometrics very soon. And also we know that they're going to do away with cash. So it's going to be dealing with your transaction. You know what I'm saying? These things are coming, you know, coming in there, buying and selling. You know, you will not be able to enter to get your merchandise, food, medical. You won't be able to do anything. You will be cut out of society if you do not take it under the skin. Verse 18 says, here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. And all about it, we know that this going into these QR codes, these barcodes. We already know what's the name of Joseph Lord was the first one that invented these barcodes, whereby, you know, you just scan it, you know what I'm saying, and the price just come right up. So that technology had always been back in the 70s. So it's going into surveillance, tracking, and tagging. You know, this is what's going in. It said, said verse 18 said, here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding, who has the understanding, the true believers of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. You know, we're not ignorant of Satan's device. You know, say count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. So, you know, just like I said, going into that barcode, you know, already know that barcode, you know, it got in there, you know, 666 in there, you know what I'm saying, that badge of servitude. And also it goes into tri-style stigma, you know, and also, you know, it's like a branding, you know, just like them digital tattoos, you know, these wearables, you know, all this kind of stuff is going to lead to that badge of servitude. You know, who you are, you know, if you take this this mark, you know, who are you bowing down to? You bowing down to the so-called white man, you know what I'm saying? Bowing down to an idol. And the Lord said, do not take it. And the penalty for that, you know, is the lake of fire. So, you know, just a little, you know, I hope I wasn't all over the place with that. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 4. So this is the penalty if you take it. You would have to suffer that second death. We'll start here. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. It said, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, this system, and receive his mark to charagma in his forehead or in his hand, the Neuralink or that grain of rice, you know what I'm saying, it's going to work hand in hand with that CBDC. A lot of people going to be hungry. A lot of people going to get enticed. And you know what I'm saying? The Lord said, take heed that no man deceive you. Verse 10 said, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Almighty, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, or righteous anger, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Verse 11 said, and the smoke of their torment and the Salakia. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 11 again said, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and forever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, the system, and whosoever receives the mark of his name. And so right here, you have to suffer that second death, which in fact is that lake of fire, going to be tormented. And one thing about it is that, a lot of people there in that particular time, you have a lot of people saying that, I'm not going to take it. They must be crazy, but we're getting ready to find out. Everyone is getting ready to be tried. The time of testing is coming up. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. Let's go to this right here, because, everyone on the planet is getting ready to be tried. The hour of testing, it's coming up upon us at a fast pace. But the Lord said he will keep thee from that hour of temptation, which in fact is the elect. So let's read this right quick. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10 said, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, so I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So that hour of testing, So the Lord is getting ready. You get ready to find out who the Lord is really dealing with, So a lot of people saying, I'm not going to do this, not going to do that. If you don't have faith and you do not fear the Lord, if you're not a part of the elect, you're going to take it and you're going to be totally destroyed. And it says here, because thou had kept the patient. Because what? The patient goes into what? Suffering. Long suffering. You endure. The same that endure, the same shall be saved. So the Lord said he would keep thee from that hour of temptation. So you will be in the secret place of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. The Lord said he will provide for it. The Lord will deliver us. The Lord will be that stronghold and that safe haven in these times of trouble. So we know right now that the system is in place. We know that we're coming upon a digital system, a digital infrastructure that they're putting into play. We know that we're right at the end of the dollar. We're coming into a new transition, what they call a global reset, whereby it will be digital, programmable, also implantable. It goes deal with your biometrics, transhumanism, AI, digital IDs. All these things are already here right in front of your face. And a lot of people are going to trust in the strength of Egypt and they will be totally destroyed. But the Lord said, the one that kept the patient, the one that kept persevering and trusting and believing in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, the Lord said, I will keep thee from that hour of temptation, the hour of testing. And one thing about it, and we know that the Lord is very close to returning. That's why we're constantly rejoicing left and right. We're almost here. We're almost to the finish line. So title of today's lesson, once again, is the mark. It's already here. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim Rekah Quadash. I like to say, Shalom. Shalom.